Welcome to Nourished by Spinneys, the award-winning show where we promise to inspire you to eat well and live well. I'm Devina Divecha.
And I'm Tiffany Eslick. Today we're continuing our chats with leading players in the food community, from farmers to foodies, as well as health and well-being experts. It's all about engaging conversations and fresh ideas. Where are you off to today, Devina?
So today I'm taking you with me to Dubai Marina, where we're going to chat with Chef JP Anglo of Kooya Filipino Eatery. One of his dreams is to get Filipino food to be recognized as a global cuisine and for it to be more well-known. It's amazing because in the last couple of years, he's definitely become a mainstay in the local culinary scene. He's done a lot of collabs here as well, but he's also really well-known for his restaurant back home in the Philippines, Sarsa. So now would also be a really good time to remind you of the episode we did with Ambeth Ocampo a couple of years ago about Filipino food history. It was a really amazing episode. Do you remember it?
I do, and it was one of our best performing episodes.
Yes.
And wasn't it like number 5 in Spotify's list?
Yeah, I think so. And I think he shared a lot of nuggets on that episode, from the story of banana ketchup to the story about dirty ice cream, one of my favorites, I think, so far. It's really the perfect way, I think, to set off on this episode, maybe if you listen to that first. Also because I think in that episode, he touched on the misconceptions and the stereotypes that you would often find with Filipino cuisine. And we'll get a little bit into that on this episode as well. So Chef JP actually warned me before I got there to come with an empty stomach, which I did. And he did not disappoint. And there will be more on that later.
I actually haven't been to Kuya, and so I'm really interested to hear what you guys spoke about. And I really want to try these dishes. So yes, I'm a little bit jealous. And I've been lucky enough to go to the Philippines a few times, and I've always loved the food. I think there is a lot of misconception about their food. So you mentioned that he's, been cooking around the world. What got him started at Kuya?
So he actually arrived in Dubai a couple of years ago as part of a collaboration. And that's when he realized, when he visited the city, that there's a lot of opportunity here to be able to showcase Filipino cuisine and kind of get rid of those misconceptions that we talked about.
It's one thing I'm really good at. Cooking.
Okay.
And it gives me great joy to feed people. It gives me great joy to see someone smile over food.
Yeah.
And for me, it's a powerful thing. And also, I tried other things and I failed.
Okay.
I was
Fair
in 3
enough.
universities, didn't work.
Oh, okay.
When I went to cooking school, finally, I made
Something
it.
clicked.
Something,
Okay,
something worked. And then at the beginning, it wasn't smooth sailing. Like the earlier stage of my life was difficult, meaning, I was very slow. I was not productive
Right.
in the kitchen.
Yeah.
I lived in Australia for 5 years. I was just it was a hard phase of my life,
Sure.
but that taught me resilience. That taught me not to give up.
Yeah.
But it was difficult, man. Looking back, it was like literally earning your stripes.
Yeah.
And I guess I am who I am because of that. Went back to the Philippines, opened an Asian restaurant.
Okay.
That's still open up to this day. It's like 17 years old,
Okay.
18. Then my sister told me, JP, if you're going to cook Asian, you're never going to be known. You're from Bacolod, our hometown. Why aren't you cooking our food?
Yeah.
Then I realized she has a point.
Yeah.
And so, I started with that. In my menu, there was a little corner. There was a little Filipino corner. Asian menu, little Filipino corner.
Right.
Right? And then fast forward, I said, wait, I want to go to Manila. I want to go to the capital and cook Filipino food there.
Yeah.
So when I got there, it was
So this restaurant was in your hometown?
this Asian restaurant
Yeah.
was in my hometown.
Okay, gotcha.
And then I wanted to get out.
Yeah.
I wanted to, roll with the big boys,
Yeah.
so to speak. And I thought I was ready because, I had my training in Australia, et cetera, et cetera. Then again, same challenges. Got there. No one believed in me. No one knew who I was.
Yeah.
So, I'm used to rejection.
Okay.
I'm used to failures.
Mm.
But I know how to claw my way back.
Yeah.
And again, all right. Then I'm like, all right, whatever. Let's just keep
going, yeah,
keep
sure.
going. And then finally, we opened one. We had a line for 1 year, every single day. Then we opened 6.
Right. Wow.
And then
1 to 6.
in the span of 5 years.
Wow. Okay.
5, 6
yeah.
years. Now we're on our 11th. Oh, no. Wait. Are we on our... I don't... more than 10 years.
Okay.
We have one.
Okay.
One really good one.
Okay.
One, just like how we started.
Yeah.
Because I realized, wait, I mean, to each his own, wherever you're good at.
Sure.
Then I just realized that I'm not the type of chef that I'm not good in the volume game.
Okay. Yeah.
So I guess now I have one, and it's, it's delicious. I know every single one of our team member.
Sure.
Versus 6, like I just know their faces.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's why here in Dubai, I'm like, let's do what we're doing now, go back to basics, and do it here in Dubai, because let's prove to our fellow Filipinos that our food is good. Our food can go beyond the doors of our house.
Yeah.
Because we're so insulated, we're so shy. And yeah, so here, hence Kuya, and it's slowly kind of organically working.
Yeah.
And people have more confidence now. They have more pride. Yeah.
It's interesting because, when you talk about Filipino cuisine perhaps not having gone much beyond, your houses, it actually made me think of Emirati food as well. Growing up here, we didn't really see that many Emirati restaurants. I think it was maybe 15 years, I would say, approx, where you kind of first notice them coming out slowly. And now, of course, you can go to multiple places to find that. So I find that quite interesting, like that similarity that that's just what it made me think of.
True. Because sometimes things are just under your nose and you don't realize it.
And a lot of it, like even with Emirati food, it's normally like in the houses, and that's where we would taste it. Like if you knew someone who would invite you home when I was growing up, for example. But it's only as an adult in Dubai where I'm actually seeing Emirati restaurants and I can take people to Emirati restaurants to try the food.
But that's where you guys come in, the Dubai kids.
Yeah.
You guys are the innovators, the forward thinkers, and I kind of see I kind of see notes of it now more, like what you said. Well, I haven't been here for that long, but there are a few chefs that are sort of like pushing it.
Yeah,
right?
definitely.
You have Faisal, you have Sahar, and they're doing well.
Yeah,
and I think them doing well will inspire
others. Exactly, definitely.
Right? So I guess it's all about that.
Yeah.
You do something good, and then so that you can inspire the next generation or someone someone around the corner. And then the more we do this together, then the better for Emirati food, the better for Filipino food, for
definitely.
Indian food, for everything.
Yeah, definitely. One of the things I wanted to ask, again, because of what you said around kind of being an advocate for Filipino cuisine, what are, I guess, some of the opportunities you've seen and even some of the challenges in terms of bringing that cuisine to the forefront, to a global stage? Is this something you've noticed as you've been on this journey?
Yeah, kind of.
Okay.
Well, prior to Dubai, I was in a way doing pop-ups around the world.
Sure.
Just sort of like learning from each other, really, and having fun, cooking together, cooking Filipino food in Mexico, cooking Filipino food in Tokyo. So having that kind of exposure and experience kind of taught me how to temper things to where you are or to who you're feeding.
Okay.
But of course, my rule is it has to be Filipino tasting.
Yeah.
Then, you can pay homage to, say, we can make a basmati adobo.
Okay.
Right? Just to pay homage to where you are. We can maybe use like rack of lamb to cook something Filipino.
Yeah.
One of the challenges is the perception and stereotype of what they think that something is.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, because they see one side, or we see one side, and we think that's all to it. But there's so many sides. So I guess our role here is to show or prove to everyone that everyone has different sides.
Has that been challenging since you opened Kuya in terms of perceptions of people? Yeah. Okay.
So you kind of have to be bold about it and really stand your ground because, I mean, I have my fair share of, rejections here.
Yeah, okay.
That, like, sorry to say, kind of like looking down on you because of what you're representing. And of course it's not a nice feeling.
Yeah.
But it also challenges me to prove you wrong. Just like I would always say this, the Mamba mentality. The more you doubt me, the more I will prove you wrong.
Yeah.
And also that's what fuels me. Because I know our product is good. I know our cuisine is good. It just needs, again, let's stand our ground. Because we have a tendency of just saying, okay.
Kind of like backing off.
Yeah, that will do. All right.
Okay.
But then, come on. And that's why I guess our job as sort of like the next generation or the younger ones is to make it more cool, make it more fun, make it more accessible, make it more relatable.
Yeah.
But at the same time, not losing the very essence or soul of our cuisine.
What would be some of, I guess, maybe stereotypes or misconceptions about the cuisine that you've had to kind of face and change people's minds about?
Some people think that we begin and end with lumpia, pancit, and adobo.
Okay.
We're
we haven't explored beyond. Okay,
we're beyond that. Oh, wait, our lumpia is good, right? Pancit's good too. I remember Michelle of Pitfire. She told me, JP, why don't we have adobo on your menu? She was complaining.
Okay.
I'm like, but Michelle, like every other Filipino household makes adobo, but we don't, and I want my adobo. And I'm like, so that comment made me think. I'm like, all right, I'm going to make an adobo skewer.
Okay, yeah.
And I'm going to grill it. And it's going to be a barbecue. And when you eat it, it's smoky, but yet it's adobo.
Yeah.
So thank you, Michelle. Because it's something, on the flip side, I've noticed that it's somehow nostalgic. Because these are the people that take care of you and you're eating their food, and I see that smile in the Dubai kid. I see that smile from the people here that they're like, they remember something. They remember the person that cared for them when they were young. So then I see that as another approach.
Yeah.
I guess food is not just about flavors. It's also about how it makes you feel, nostalgia, how it feeds your soul, etc., etc.
So if someone who perhaps didn't know much about Filipino cuisine and came to Kuya, first time here, what would you recommend they order, for example? What's on their menu for that day?
I'll show you.
Okay.
Go get it.
Okay, so before the break, Chef walked off to get your dishes. What did he come back with?
So while I was there, I got to try 4 dishes. The first thing I tried was the okoy, which is like a sweet potato fritter. To me, it was very familiar in terms of being almost like an Indian bhajia, but it had really interesting sides. So it was served with a vinegar and a shrimp paste gravy, which I thought really made a big difference. We also tried the beef empanadas, which I think may have possibly been my favorite from the tasting. So it's originally a soup, like it's based off on a soup, which he then reduced down and stuffed into the empanada, which was also interesting because it had a tamarind paste on the side as a dip, and it worked really, really well. So then there was also the kare kare, which is the peanut butter, beef and shrimp gravy dish. And of course, the chicken adobo skewers, which was mentioned earlier. And honestly, he was right. It is an amazing dish and definitely a crowd pleaser.
Oh my gosh, that sounds so delicious.
You'll be able to see all the dishes if you're watching this episode on YouTube, and you'll also be able to see it on Instagram. Plus, we'll have a bonus episode next week with more details of the dishes we tried from Chef JP himself. So stay tuned for that. Right, so back to our conversation. So how have the diners of Dubai kind of taken to this food once they've come in, especially perhaps actually for both for Filipino people who've kind of grown up eating food like this and tasting it here, as well as people like me, perhaps, who've not really eaten that much Filipino food. What has their reception been towards kind of the dishes that they've tried here?
I've noticed the Filipinos that have been living here, they actually they realize that, oh my God, I can't believe I'm eating this dish here in Dubai because they say it tastes like home. It tastes like their mom or their grandma cooked it.
Yeah.
And I guess what they're tasting is, cheesy, okay? Cheesy as it may sound, but what they're tasting is a lot of love.
Yeah.
A lot of care.
Yeah.
A lot of soul. No cutting corners. And I think sometimes that's the key to making a good dish. Say you're making a stew. You want to cook it low and slow, right?
Yeah.
So same, but I can't blame them because everyone's pressed for time here.
Yeah.
You go home, all you want to do is open a packet.
Yeah.
You call for delivery or you go to a local grocery down the road, say Spinneys, and you order quinoa and chicken breast or whatever.
Yeah.
And for non-Filipinos, and I've gotten these comments from random people just going up to me. I think you were one of them. Just saying, "Hey, thank you." And I'm like, "Why?" Because we've been coexisting with you guys for the past decades, but we always start with friendship, karaoke, and drinks.
Yeah,
but
sure.
we never reach the food.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then so they say, they realize, oh, this is beyond karaoke now.
Yeah.
And I guess.
I mean, amazing singers though. Gotta.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God, so good.
Yes.
Really good.
Except for me and my wife.
Oh come on,
we're that 2%.
Who can't sing.
Oh, cannot. That's why I can cook.
Also, the Filipino dance community here is amazing.
Yes. Our kitchen team.
Yeah.
They're really good singers.
Oh yeah.
Our front of the house team. They're really good dancers.
Nice.
So our last Christmas party. Kitchen beat the front of the house in terms of singing. Then, of course, dancing.
Like they won. Okay, fair enough. Yeah.
I was really surprised they can sing. For chefs. I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
And there's so many talents in there.
You mentioned pop-ups at Ulcercal, for example. That's where we met for the first time because I saw you there at What the Food. And I did approach you and I was like, hello, hi, how are you? Which I'm so glad I did. And one thing I did notice before I actually asked my question is you're super open with everyone who approaches you. You take your time with them. And it's really kind of you to do that. And I did notice even after I said hi, so many people, especially people from the Filipino community, were there to talk to you. And you were just really generous with your time, despite having to run a pop-up at a really busy event. So thank you for that, actually. It's really kind of you.
Yeah.
But with events like that, how have you found the experience of doing them across Dubai? Is it something you enjoy doing? And are we going to see more events or collabs perhaps in the coming year?
Yes.
Okay. Love that. Okay.
Yes, I enjoy doing it because I get to feed you guys. I get to, I get to experience that smile on your face.
Yeah.
It's just a nice feeling.
Sure.
It's all worth it being, they say it's so hard being a chef and it's stressful, but then having that, getting those kind of feedback and reaction is rewarding.
Yeah.
Number 2, I might do a collab with Akmal, with the Japanese concept, and among other things.
Okay.
So it's nice that the community is so open-minded to sort of learn from each other, experience each other's culture.
You mean the chef community?
Yes.
Yeah.
And just random concepts, random chefs that I would never think of. It's flattering, really.
Yeah.
And I'm excited because I'm a fan of their work, and I can't wait to learn from them.
No, I think that's definite. That's a definite change of scene, again, maybe over the last 10 years or so in the community here, where a lot of the chefs have gone beyond just staying in their own space and working with each other a lot more. I don't know exactly if I can pinpoint a specific moment where it changed, but we started seeing a lot more kind of collabs, but also chefs supporting other chefs, restaurateurs supporting others. And it's been great for me, both as a consumer and as someone who kind of writes or reports about the space, to see, because I just think like that's how our food community in Dubai is growing, really.
And the more we learn from each other, the stronger our cuisine, both our cuisines
definitely
can be.
And with that, I mean, people clearly like it because you've won a few awards. I think most recently is the highly commended that you got with Time Out.
Yeah.
So yeah, talk me a little bit through that. Like, you've won quite a few awards since you opened. How does that feel? And just kind of where do you want to go from here?
First of all, we are extremely honored and flattered. It's like the team is in high spirits.
Yeah.
They're so proud to work here and to cook Filipino food.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
I guess the feeling is all of us, we have that sense of pride now. And we're not shy anymore because, there's a symbol that, yes, we can be up there.
Yeah.
But baby steps.
Yeah.
To answer your question, I mean, my father would always tell me, be good in what you do and money will run after you. Second, never be content. I mean, I'm contented with my wife and family that I am, but when it comes to your job, always strive to be better.
More,
So I guess, I mean, we want to get there.
Yeah. And you've got other things in the works. Like I said, I recently saw on your Instagram, you've got ready to eat Filipino dishes that are coming out on the market. Where did that come from? Or did you always want to do something like that?
So I've always wanted to do this.
Yeah.
It's sort of like a dream come true. It's like, when you're a young chef, wouldn't it be cool to have your own food line?
Sure.
So why not, right?
Yeah.
And so there are 5 variants.
Okay.
Sisig, kare-kare, caldereta, chicken barbecue, and we call it Bicol Express, meaning it's chicken with a coconut gravy.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yes. But these 5 dishes did not come without any challenges. At the beginning, because I saw the longing for these type of meals. So I approached a company. I said, "Hey, you guys want to do this?" Then our topic earlier, we were, they didn't take us seriously.
Fair enough. Yeah. Okay.
And we were rejected.
Okay.
And then I'm like, ouch. All right, whatever. Okay, this is cool. And then Abella and Co. called us and said they wanted to do it. I'm like, and the CEO himself called.
Okay, wow, yeah.
And I'm like, oh, wow.
Yeah.
Then we got to know each other and you could feel that they're really into it and that they believe and they care.
Line,
It's been a year in the making.
Okay.
And, our relationship is just getting stronger and stronger.
Yeah, no, that's amazing because I think, like you say, people have been longing for it, but also, say, for example, if someone's just curious and hasn't tried it before, it's an easy route, I think, to trying it maybe.
And also, because I've been reading comments, the comments are normally like, oh, thank God, I don't have to cook, or I don't have time.
Sure.
To prepare all this. Thank you. It's like you come to the rescue.
Yeah.
And that's the I guess that's why I guess the universe placed us here to sort of like, be that type of people.
And I think maybe going back to what you said about being an advocate for Filipino cuisine, what are your, I guess, hopes and dreams, if we could call it that, for the cuisine, on a more global scale? Are there any trends maybe you're seeing with regard to Filipino cuisine, maybe on a global level? Are you seeing more uptake or people being more interested in it?
I've noticed around the world, there are so many chefs, say in America, Australia, Canada, Europe, that are applying what they've learned in their whatever background, French, Asian, and applying it to Filipino food.
Okay. Yeah.
Applying those techniques to Filipino ingredients is just giving Filipino food like a step up.
Sure. Yeah.
And so that's the trend I'm seeing, that there are more Filipino chefs around the world embracing our cuisine and being bold about it. And really, our hope and our dream is to really, put it up there.
Yeah.
We want to belong there. We don't want to be this underrated cuisine. But of course, we have to do the work.
Yeah. I wanted to kind of switch it up from food a little bit, because I was reading your bio online and said you like to surf, and was it golfing as well, maybe? And then I don't know why I didn't see this before, but I just discovered you have a YouTube channel. So how did all of that, are you a vlogger by heart? What's happening?
I'm a reluctant vlogger.
Okay.
Because at the end of the day, I'm a chef.
Yeah.
Right? And I guess the universe put me in this position to do some sort of vlogging so that I can spread more information, good vibes, share what I've learned through the years, my experiences. My channel is very, very random.
Yeah, I watched your birthday meal one. Happy belated birthday.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That was so random.
And then there was one which just started off with you at a basketball court, and I just thought, I'm not sure what's going on here.
I can't even remember what that is.
I scrolled a bit, but yeah. So it's quite like a random collection of whether it's you out, going out somewhere, just you with the family.
Yeah.
Even you chatting about, your fit for the day. Yeah.
It's just, I guess,
life
in general. But of course, it revolves around food and cooking and what we do. Golf, surfing keeps me sane. I want to cook for the rest of my life, and I don't want to get burnt out. So hence the outlets.
You need the time,
Yeah, and I'm a very outdoorsy person. Hence I love golf and cooking. And recently I got into camping in the Philippines, and we kind of went all out with it as well.
Yeah.
But again, still very food centered.
Sure.
And we make a lot of people happy.
Yeah.
I guess that's the most important thing. And you get to do it while working, and it's great.
And how has it been for you since you're, a more a newer dad? How's it been balancing that with work? And, what are your hopes for him in terms of learning more about, your culture and your cuisine?
Wow. That's a nice question. Thank you. You're the first person that ever asked me that. Yeah, thank you. Wow. I gotta say this right. No, but first of all, my team loves it because I'm more mellow.
Okay.
And I'm more empathic. Because you know how chefs are sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes.
It's funny because I was having a chat with my healer earlier, and she told me that your energy changed when your son was born.
Okay, wow.
Yeah, and I believe so. The other day I was talking to my son. I was just saying, hey, buddy, we're gonna do good things together. At the back of my mind, I don't know how I'm gonna do it, but I know I can do it.
Yeah.
I am more driven, inspired just to succeed in everything I do because of him.
Yeah.
Then again, I don't know the recipe.
Yeah.
But I know how it tastes like. Just like where I'm from a small town. And that's how I started with Filipino food. My background is Asian.
Yeah.
But I grew up tasting it. So I know how it tastes like. I just need to
find the root there.
Yeah. Learn how to cook it.
Yeah.
So I guess same with the future of my son. let's just baby steps, and I want you to see what I see. I want you to feel what we feel, and I want you to be a good person. And I mean, if there's the three of us being good to the world, then it's going to be a better world.
Oh, I love that.
Right?
That actually kind of leads really nicely into our sign-off question, which all our guests have to answer, which is, what is it that nourishes your soul?
Oh. Whew. Well, obviously now my son.
Yeah.
And really, you earlier dipping the fritter in the vinegar and I saw the spark in your eye.
Yeah.
That nourishes my soul. So I guess when people just are happy, and when food gives you a hug, that nourishes my soul.
Awesome. Thank you.
Okay.